and this was in the 90s, and this is just an example, but we looked at ways of advertising certain events that we were doing and wanting to move to a way to do it electronically. And it was met with people saying, well, we tried that on a smaller scale and it didn't really work. Well, what we didn't recognize though was that the trends were changing and that it became quite normal to do things electronically. And RSVPing on something online was something that people were starting to get used to. And it points out that this idea that when we sit there and we compare what happened in the past, our environment has changed and we need to meet those changes. So what are the benefits to a turnover? 1, no perpetual concentration of power within a small group. Group dynamic is constantly changing and new people and ideas prevent stagnation. Helps create a sense of urgency to get things done. And I want to remind you, we're asking for a term limit which would have 3 terms, so which is 12 years. So I kind of giggle to myself with this sense of urgency that taking 12 years, I feel like urgency should be much faster. But nonetheless, even if we knew that we only had 12 years, it would create people an environment that might be more motivated to get things done in a particular time frame. And new members will feel less threatened by long-standing members. So why allow it to go to vote? Constituents deserve a voice. Right now, voters don't really have a voice because so often the board runs unopposed. That's not your fault. But as Martha pointed out in her presentation, it's extremely difficult and expensive to beat an incumbent. The last board meeting, Mrs. Floor had said hardly any other districts have board term limits. But the bigger question is, how many districts have allowed their constituents the opportunity to vote on it? In this age, we are all looking for transparency. Transparency isn't just about showing others what you're doing, it's actively involving them in the process. If you believe in transparency, then allow this to go to the voters to decide. Thank you.